Hi guys, so it's time for a new haul video since I've been to Japan on holiday, which is the motherland of Copics. So of course I had to go shopping a bit, and Copic markers are ridiculously cheap in Japan. They're about half the price of what it costs to buy them in Denmark. So yes, so I wanted to show you. I bought Copics, but also some other stuff. So here are the Copics that I bought. So what was it? 10 Copics, and I have to say I already regret not buying any more. But I decided to kind of focusing on not necessarily expanding my collection, but rather kind of maintaining the one I have. So I've bought a lot of refills instead. Because I think I now have quite a nice range of the different color groups. So, but I bought some different ones where I kind of had some holes in my collection here and there. So to fill out these, I bought these markers here. So always exciting with new Copic markers, and I'll save these. And then I bought a whole bunch of refills that I needed for, I have refills for the markers that I've used, the most, because they've dried out, but I still needed some refills for kind of other markers that I do use a lot, but where they haven't dried out yet, but might do soon. So yeah, the grays, I use those a lot, especially for backgrounds, and I needed these 3 colors, which are the markers I've bought fairly recently. So I haven't used them up yet, but it'll come. I've started using the 50s range for skin colors now, and this is, a fairly new thing for me, so I didn't have refills for those either. Yeah, here's one, and the E02, which I use a lot for coloring of skin, and then just some pretty blue ones and green, where I do have refills for the lighter one in these ranges, but needed some of the darker tones. And then I bought 2 of the refills for the colorless blender, which have been dried out for quite some time, and I didn't realize that you could buy them as these, this size of refills. I've only seen like one of big containers, which cost quite a lot. So I was very happy to find them there, and realize that you can actually get them as these and this size. So I bought 2 of those because I'll definitely need them. So how many? So actually 14 refills. Yeah, so I decided to prioritize that, obviously, over the markers. Then I bought some fine liners, which are also quite, I haven't found anywhere, any physical shops where they're available in Denmark. So I've been ordering them online, which is, they're quite expensive there because you have to include the shipping. I've ordered them from Amazon, so I was quite happy to find this one, which I usually use for outlining of the face of of the drawings, but then I also found these gray ones, and I thought, well, it would be very nice to have those as kind of a neutral color, and they're very finely, the tips are very small. You can see here 0.03 and yeah, 0.05. I don't know if I can necessarily tell the difference, but I like my line work to be not as marked, if you can say, or obvious. So I think this could be very interesting to try these instead of the way I usually do the line art in the color I'm going to, you know, color the piece in. So we'll see how that turns out. Then I also bought something that I'm very excited about, and it's something new. So I bought this, let me just open it. I bought the airbrushing system, which is for Copic markers, which is something that I've been wanting for a long time by now, and finally, yeah, I got the opportunity to get it fairly cheap. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. I got an extra refill here, and especially for my background, since I have issues kind of filling the background out kind of uniformly with my Copic markers, which I think it may be because I have quite large areas with the same, where I use the same color, and also probably something about the paper I use. I use Bristol board paper, which is quite thick and can kind of can contain quite a bit of ink, so that might also be the issue. But so the idea was that, you know, I can use this for backgrounds and hopefully make them evenly distribute the color. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying that. I can't try it just yet because I need some masking fluid so that I don't get the color out, you know, on the entire paper. So yeah, I have to be patient. Then I also bought some non-Copic stuff. Or actually no, I still have some Copic stuff left. I bought these nibs, which I didn't realize that you could get. Finely tipped nibs for Copic sketch markers, which, yeah, as I said, I didn't realize really existed. So it's the same nib that that's on the Copic classic Copic marker, and it's something that I've really wished for on the Copic sketch markers, because I really rarely use the chisel tip, and when I use it, it's for backgrounds, which, you know, I don't need now. But I think it can be very difficult with you know, the smaller details when using the brush nib. So I'm really excited about these, and I kind of almost regret not buying more of these, since I already actually used, I bought 5 packages, and I've actually already used one of them, and I love them. So yeah, I'll have to be strategic and when I decide which markers to put these on. Yeah, then I bought some paper. So this Copic paper selection, so I don't usually like using, you know, specific marker paper, the one where it's really thin and it's coated on the back so it doesn't, you know, the markers or ink doesn't bleed through. And Copic makes have a brand of this, and I've also tried other brands. I don't like it for the technique I'm using. The ink, I feel you have to work with it before it dries, and that kind of stresses me a bit, whereas using Bristol board you can kind of reactivate the ink again to do the blending. But this is some thick marker paper, so I thought, why not give it a go? You know, it might turn out that, you know, I like this more than my Bristol board, which I'm not kind of anticipating, but it could be very interesting. Then, yeah, one last thing from Copic. I took this free brochure, and it has, particularly because it has the color, all of the colors here, and I haven't been able to find this table anywhere else. And I have it already, and I got it, you know, way back when I started out with Copic markers, and ordered some different sets of the markers, and I got this with one of them, but only one of them. And you know, I've used it for crossing which one I have and refills, and also which ones I desperately need. But it would be nice to have kind of a backup of these. And this is here, so that's very nice. I thought it could also be interesting to see what else they have to write here, and know there's a lot of stuff about the different products they offer. Yeah, so I don't know if you can tell, but everything is in Japanese. So yeah, but I can use it for, you know, I can see which colors are included in which sets, and yeah, pictures of their different products. And here's also some tips for refilling markers as well, and which fine liners they have. And here actually a lot of different paper, which I didn't know they have now, which could also be interesting to test out. Here's the airbrush system, different kind of storage solutions. Yeah, it would have been more fun if you could read the text, but you know. Yeah, so that's it for the Copic stuff. Yeah, one thing just fell on the floor, so I had to get it. So another thing that I've kind of been wanting for a while, since I'm running out, or have run out, is these colored refills for mechanical pencils, which I really enjoy drawing with when I do my sketching, since it doesn't smear as with the kind of usual graphite you use for these mechanical pencils. And also when you have different details kind of overlapping, it's nice to be able to use different colors, I think, to be able to differentiate when I have to transfer the drawing and only parts of it. So I bought 2 blue and 2 pink and 1 red one, and I've usually preferred drawing with the blue one, so yeah, I had to have that. But I also think the pink could be fun, and then a mixed one. So these were quite cheap, and it's been, you know, quite expensive to buy them on Amazon, since again I have to pay for the shipping. So that's very nice to have those, I think. Yeah, and then I bought this eraser, which should be go well with these yeah, these refills, which can be difficult to erase, is my experience. Then I actually bought 2 additional markers and some additional sketching pencils. So I bought these 2 alcohol based markers, which are in I would say 2 different skin colors. And actually, you know, as you can see, haven't opened them yet. And it should contain a brush nib and oh yeah, and a chisel nib. So let's see. Oops. So that's obviously the brush nib, and then yeah, your standard chisel nib. Let's just see here. Oh wow. Maybe a little bit too soft, but actually I quite like this. Yeah, it actually seems to be quite a nice brush nib. It is fairly similar to the Copic in design, I think, at least with the, you know, you have the marking here and the coloring. I can't really tell if it has any brand name really, or anything on it, so I think they're quite cheaply produced probably, but they were also ridiculously cheap. They were actually not about, they were exactly 100 yens. And what does that correspond to? Actually I can't remember what. 1600 yens is about 10 pounds or something around that. So that tells you kind of how cheap it is, and it was a whole store where everything cost 100 yen, so I couldn't help myself. I had to buy these two just for fun. And in the same store I also bought these two sketching pencils. As I mentioned, I like doing my sketching in colors, and these seem to be color pencils for this, where they have one red and one blue end. So yeah, why not? I decided 100 yen. Yeah, even though I do prefer using a mechanical pencil, so I don't have to sharpen my pencil all the time, and they're great for smaller details, but yeah, why not give it a go? So yeah, that's the art stuff that I bought. I also bought, yeah, this chewing gum, which I'm quite interested in trying, because I can't see anything or read anything on the label, other than I assume this is some kind of lime flavor. I'm not sure what this is. A grapefruit or kind of a blood orange. I don't know if that's the right translation. From 7-Eleven. And then one more thing I have to show you. I bought this, which is obviously a shark mug, which I bought at an aquarium, big aquarium we visited, and when I saw it I had to buy it, because I have a thing for cheap, you know, B shark movies, which, you know, the ones which are so poorly made or so bad that they're actually funny. So it was like meant to be when I saw this mug, and I had to have it. So yeah, just a souvenir, I guess. So yeah, that's about that for now, but I really enjoy all of this stuff that I got, especially the markers, and for fairly, you know, got them fairly cheap, so, or actually very cheap, I think. So I already regret not buying more, but you know, you can keep on buying and buying. You know, if you use Copic markers, you know what I mean. You get addicted and want to kind of expand your collection all the time. But yeah, I decided to be sensible and focus mostly on the collection I have, so, and maintaining that one. So yeah, that's about all I had for this time, and I hope you will have a look at some of my videos in the future here, where I'll be testing some of this stuff I've got here. So yeah, until next time, bye.